The Merchant of Venice, created by Sir Portia. The Merchant of Venice, a famous play by William Shakespeare, is known for its famous court scene where a merchant has to choose between a chest containing either gold or a pound of his flesh. Let's see what happens. Antonio and Bassanio were two friends living in Venice of Italy. Bassanio loved a girl named Portia in Belmont. She was beautiful, rich, and intelligent. But her father had died, and in his will he had said that the man who would marry his daughter would have to do so on one condition. He would have to choose a casket of gold, silver, or lead. Each had a different inscription on it. The one which Bassanio chose would become his or hers. Now, Bassanio wanted Portia's hand in marriage, but he was very poor. He needed money to buy a proper outfit to go to Portia's father's house and woo his daughter. He went to his friend Antonio, who was a merchant, and asked for a loan of 3,000 money. Antonio loved his friend, so he said yes. But when they went to the bank together, the banker told Antonio that he did not have that much money. Only Shylock, a local Jew, was willing to lend them the money. But he was a cruel man and charged very high interest. He also said that if they could not return the money in 3 months, then he would take a pound of flesh from Antonio's body. Antonio thought he could manage to get the money back in time, so he agreed to these terms. Exactly 3 months later, Bassanio was in Belmont with his new wife, Portia. But Shylock wanted his pound of flesh as Antonio could not refund the money in due time. Antonio was very sad. He went to Shylock and begged him to forgive him, but Shylock would not agree. He took Antonio to the court. Portia, who had followed them, was horrified to see what was about to happen to her husband. She was a lawyer in disguise, but no woman was allowed in the courtroom. Portia decided to intervene. She went up to the judge and said that she had a solution. She offered to give Shylock whatever money he wanted, but he refused. He just wanted his pound of flesh. Portia then offered to cut a pound of flesh from Antonio's body, but she said that not a single drop of blood could be spilled. When Shylock heard this, he was shocked. All he had ever wanted was money. Why did he agree to this condition? Was he mad? But before he could say anything, Portia instructed the servants to bring a knife. Shylock was terrified. How could he possibly let a young girl cut open his chest? He tried to stop her, but Portia continued. Finally, Shylock burst out, "Stop, I want my money." Portia smiled. It seemed that she had won. She asked the judge to order Shylock to give half of his wealth to Antonio, saying that it was the usual penalty for an act of murder. Shylock was devastated. He realized that he had made a huge mistake. But there was nothing he could do now. He was forced to give away all his money. He had made millions by charging interest. Yet he had lost everything. He fell at Antonio's feet and begged for forgiveness. Seeing that Shylock had repented, Antonio forgave him. And so the day ended with Antonio and Bassanio going home with lots of money. Antonio had got his pound of flesh, but he hadn't lost anything. And Shylock had got his money, but he had lost everything. This story teaches us to be careful while making deals. Sometimes we may think that we are clever and have managed to get the better bargain, but we don't realize that it is actually we who are being outsmarted. Did you like this story? Tell us in the comments below. Also, tell us what other stories you would like us to narrate for you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you never miss any of our videos.